Whenever a society hits a major crisis, it almost always starts looking for a new path forward, a whole new story for its future. So today we're diving into Israel, where some really different, deeply contrasting visions for what comes next are starting to take shape. Okay, let's get into it.
And really, this whole conversation starts from a place of real urgency. Look at this headline from the Jerusalem Post. It puts it pretty bluntly, right? There's this widespread feeling that the system as it is, well, it's broken. And that kind of environment creates the perfect fertile ground for bold and, sometimes pretty radical new ideas to pop up.
And that's the big question, isn't it? It's what's driving this whole explainer. When the old ways just don't seem to be working anymore, what new paths could possibly open up? We're about to explore two very, very different answers to that question.
All right, so this first vision, it's not looking to the future for answers. No, it's looking deep into the past. This is a path that's all about faith, about scripture, and about a deeply held belief in fulfilling ancient prophecy.
And this is what they're called, the Kingdom Restoration Initiative. And listen, the ambition here is just staggering. We are not talking about small tweaks to policy. This is a vision for a total spiritual and political reunification, all driven by what they believe is a divine command to bring back an ancient kingdom.
So where does this all come from? Well, it's rooted right here, in this quote from the prophet Ezekiel. For this movement, this isn't just some historical text. It's a living instruction manual, a promise that they are convinced is meant to be fulfilled right now in our time. This is the why behind their entire vision.
So, how in the world do they plan to do it? Well, it comes down to these 4 pillars. Forgiveness, that's about healing old, deep divisions. Hope, that comes straight from that prophetic promise we just saw. Trust is all about reconnecting to the covenant of Abraham. And agency, well, that's about empowering every single person to be a part of this divine project. So you see, it's a framework for both spiritual life and real-world societal action. Okay, now let's do a complete 180 and look at our second vision, because this one goes in a totally different direction. If that first path was dug from ancient texts, this one is programmed with future technology. It literally swaps prophecy for algorithms. And here they are, the Talk Less Party. The name kind of says it all. Their whole philosophy is about not getting bogged down in the arguments of the past. The goal is to just short-circuit all the historical blame games and focus 100% on building a brand new, sustainable, and compassionate society from scratch. And the tools they want to use? They're straight out of science fiction. We're talking about things like quantum intelligence. Think of it as super powerful AI that can solve massive social problems that are just way too complex for the human brain. And they talk about these GENII algorithms, which sound like systems designed to create a fairer, resource-based economy. The main idea is to use this crazy advanced tech to get everyone aligned on common goals, like ending hunger or redesigning education, by building a whole new economic system from the ground up.
Now, wait a second. Does any of this look familiar? The Talk Less Party also builds its entire platform on 4 pillars: forgiveness, hope, trust, and agency. But look closer, the definitions are totally different. Here, forgiveness is conditional. Hope is a tool for leaders. Trust has to be earned by getting results, and agency is a safety net for those who can't speak for themselves. The words are the same, but the operating system is completely different.
And this is where things get really fascinating. You've got these 2 radically different movements. One is looking to the ancient past, the other to a quantum future, and yet somehow they seem to be building on the exact same foundation. So what is going on here?
This slide just lays it all out so perfectly. On the left, you've got the pillars of a faith-based restoration. And on the right, the pillars of a tech-driven renewal. The language, it's identical. It's just this remarkable parallel that makes you wonder if there's a deeper, shared understanding of what a society needs to heal and rebuild, no matter which path you take.
Of course, just because you're using the same vocabulary doesn't mean you're speaking the same language, right? This is where we have to dig a little deeper and see what these words actually mean to each group.
And boom, this table just breaks it all down. For the Kingdom Restoration, the source of authority is divine prophecy. For the Talk Less Party, it's quantum intelligence. The guiding principle for one is the Abrahamic covenant, a literal pact with God. For the other, it's this secular idea they call motherly love. Basically a principle of radical compassion and care for everyone, like a mother for her child. And the end goals, a spiritual kingdom of heaven versus a practical, sustainable economy. They couldn't be more different. The same four words are basically just doorways into two completely different universes of thought.
So, what do we make of all this? What does it actually mean when two visions that seem like they're from different planets start using the very same words to map out a better future? Well, maybe what it tells us is that underneath all the ideology, whether it's faith or technology, there's this shared human yearning, a deep desire for forgiveness, a fundamental need for hope, the absolute necessity of trust, and the importance of every person having agency. It seems like both paths, in their own way, are calling for a total reset, and they've both landed on the very same core values as the keys to get there.
So we'll leave you with this to think about. When the language of ancient prophets starts to sound a lot like the manifestos of quantum futurists, it might just signal a moment of really profound reflection. It kind of forces us all to ask, what do those shared values, forgiveness, hope, trust, and agency, what do they truly mean for the challenges we're all facing right now, today?